Can a person who has taken a life ever find peace? Can a murderer truly change? Today's story proves that even in the darkest hearts, the light of wisdom can enter. The story goes like this. There was a man who was violent, angry, and poor. He grew up believing that everyone had wronged him, and he always felt like he had something to prove. And so he joined a gang, dealing drugs and beating up anyone who got in his way. One night, after drinking heavily, he got into a fight with a man. In a fit of rage, he pulled out a knife and stabbed him several times. Then he ran away. When the police caught him, they charged him with murder. As he sat in his cell waiting for his trial, he was filled with hatred for everyone around him. All he could think about was how unfair everything was. Why did they have to put him in such a small, dark cell? Why did they keep bringing him food that tasted like cardboard? And why didn't they let him watch TV or listen to music? To pass the time, he started counting the cracks in the ceiling. But no matter how hard he tried, he couldn't stop thinking about what he had done. He had taken an innocent life, and there was no excuse for it. Then one day, a Buddhist monk came to the prison to teach a class. Many of the inmates, including our prisoner, rolled their eyes and went back to counting the cracks in their ceilings. But something about the monk's calm voice made our prisoner stop and listen. The monk talked about the nature of suffering, how it is all caused by our own minds, and how we can find peace no matter where we are. He also shared stories of people who had found inner peace even while suffering from physical pain. Our prisoner was skeptical, but he had nothing else to lose, so he decided to give it a try. He started by sitting in meditation and trying to focus on his breath. At first, his mind raced from one thought to the next. He couldn't stop thinking about his trial, his lawyer, and how much time he would spend in prison. But as he continued to meditate, he began to feel a sense of calm wash over him. He closed his eyes and listened to the sound of the other inmates breathing. For the first time in a long time, he felt at peace. As he delved deeper into Buddhism, he read books on the Dhamma and attended classes whenever he could. He learned about the Three Jewels, the Four Noble Truths, and the Noble Eightfold Path. He also learned about karma, how our actions have consequences and how we are responsible for our choices. At first, this made him feel guilty and ashamed. He realized that he had hurt so many people in his life and that he had brought all of this suffering upon himself. But as he continued to learn, he began to feel a sense of hope. He realized that he could change, that he could become a better person. He started by writing letters to the family of the man he had killed. He apologized for what he had done and expressed his sorrow. He also began to make amends with the people he had hurt in the past. He donated money to charities and volunteered to help others. And most importantly, he started to practice mindfulness. He became aware of his thoughts and emotions and took responsibility for them. He no longer blamed others for his problems or made excuses for his behavior. It wasn't easy, but as he continued to practice, he began to see a change in himself. He became calmer and more focused. He stopped getting angry and started feeling compassion for the people around him. He even began to feel grateful for the difficult situation he had been in. He realized that it had given him the opportunity to learn and grow in ways he had never imagined. Years passed, and our prisoner's story started to spread throughout the prison. Other inmates heard about the changes in him and wanted to know how he had done it. So he started sharing his knowledge with them, teaching them how to meditate and how to live with mindfulness. He became a role model for the other prisoners, showing them that it is possible to change even in the darkest of places. One day, the warden of the prison called our former prisoner to his office. He told him that he had heard about his good work and wanted to thank him. But he also had a question. He asked our former prisoner how he had managed to change so much while in prison. Our former prisoner smiled and replied, "I simply took responsibility for my actions. I realized that I had done something terrible, and I needed to make amends. I started by apologizing to the family of the man I had killed. I also began to help others in the prison and to donate money to charity. And most importantly, I started practicing mindfulness. It's not been easy, but I've seen a lot of positive change in myself." The warden nodded and thanked our former prisoner for his honesty. He knew that our former prisoner was right. Taking responsibility for one's actions was the key to change. In the end, our prisoner's sentence was reduced due to his good behavior and contributions to the prison community. When he was finally released, he became a lay practitioner of Buddhism and started sharing his story with others. He traveled around the country, giving talks in prisons, schools, and other organizations. He also volunteered at a local temple and helped to organize meditation groups. Although he was free, he never forgot the lessons he had learned in prison. He continued to practice mindfulness and to take responsibility for his actions. He knew that it was only through these practices that he had been able to change and become a better person. So, what is the moral of this story? Even the darkest past can give way to the light of wisdom. No one is beyond redemption. People aren't their worst moments. We all have the capacity to change and grow. Let us not judge others too quickly or give up on them. Instead, let us offer them kindness and understanding and help them to see the best in themselves. Now, I want to ask you a question. Do you believe people can truly change? Have you ever met someone who has changed for the better? Share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. And before you go, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. Thank you for watching, and may you find peace and happiness in your life. You might also want to check out this video here, which is also about the power of forgiveness. Thank you for watching, and may you find peace and happiness in your life.